scarred by heavy years. A dusty mirror holds 100 faces. I step into the frame to face my fear, tracing out the lines of ancient places. The handle of the door is worn and cold. The silver ghost is waiting in the corner. The story's held upon the being told. I am the prayer and I am the mourner. The father planted seeds within his feet. Move the water flowing down the mountain. The circle on the ground is now complete. I drink the spirit from a dry stone fountain. The shadows on the wall begin to sway. A phantom band is reaching for the ceiling. The light of yesterday is gone away, leaving only movement and the feeling. The clock upon the wall has lost its hands. Gravity is pulling at my skin. I wander through the shifting desert sands to find the place where all the ends begin. Running around the heavy pebbles turn, the ashes falling from a dying fire. The lessons that the lonely but you learned of lifting higher than a temple spire. From the to the hollow ground, emotion is the only truth I found. Living in the spin of every breath, dancing through the gates of birth and death. I wear the shoes of men I never knew. That sweat is soaked into the grain of timber. The sky above the roof is turning blue, while every aching joint is growing limber. A thousand seasons pass inside an hour. The pedal drops, the feet are rising. The winter frost becomes the summer flower. A bitter sea becomes the heavy fruit. My pulse is beating like a wooden drum. A steady punch against the fading vision. The silence tells me where I started from. A shot that made with surgical precision. I lose my name within the spinning air. The walls are melted into open meadow. I find a piece of heaven waiting there. Beneath the weight of all my frantic shadow. The clock upon the wall has lost its hands. The gravity is falling at my skin. I wander through the shifting desert sands to find a place where all the ends begin. Round and round, whatever turns, the ashes falling from a dying fire. They divide the lonely body, don't lift them higher than the temple spire. Round and round to the hollow ground. Motion is the only truth I found. Listen to the spin of every breath, dancing through the gates of birth and death.
All right. Well, good morning. Good morning, Charlie Rose. Go sit in your chair, girl. Not you, my dog. Get in your chair. Here, get up here. Chill out. Okay. Here we are this morning making some noise in the black mirror. Charlie Rose. Charlie Rose is up. She didn't give me the words up. Do we have good audio? Hopefully the audio is working good. So I know I just redlined the mic. So maybe I got that at 6 dB. So, and that's the audio input coming through there. So I'll check myself. A lot of people will say good morning. Hey Dana, good morning Dana. How you doing, lady? I got a toothache this morning. I just got over the downstroke of acute chronic bronchitis. So the doctor told me. I thought it was that or walking pneumonia. It was pretty bad. As a result of it, I quit smoking cigarettes now for today's the 8th day. But because of all the insistent coughing, I must have busted open one of my fillings or something, because I have a toothache. But the dentist had just worked on something. He said he was doing a root canal. He ended up not doing a root canal on me and just putting a cap on upper molar in my mouth, and that's hurting, and a new tooth is hurting. So it's kind of really sucking. But anyway, I was just up um, doing some reading and stuff and looking at things, and my computer threw out a, you know how your screen will can kiosk different images for you around the world and so forth, because I'm using Microsoft 11 on this particular machine I'm on. And I just had a relative not too long ago. Is the audio okay, by the way, there, Dana? I asked Charlie Rose. I kind of bumped it up on my phone, but sometimes you can't tell because later I always find out that audio didn't work so well. But anyway, what I was looking, and it punched up an image from Italy. Okay, so it punched up an oh, there I am right there, and them are the Dolomites of Italy right there. Um, and I wanted to talk about the etymology of Dolomites to further elaborate. Um, oh, well, see, this is on the fly. Nothing's rehearsed. Um, so anyway, I just had someone not too long ago die in my family, one of our family members who lived in Florence. Uh, Italian lady, great lady. She died in her, I think she was like 92 when she died, 97, one or the other. I think it was 92. She didn't live as long as Maggie. Maggie just died and she was 97. So I know words are spells. And like Dolomites, for example, the word Dolomites ultimately comes from a person's name, not an ancient linguistic root. Okay, the mountains there, what we're talking about, the Dolomites, are named after a French mineralogist, Desdot Grat de Dolomites, who first identified the unique magnesium-rich rock Dolomites that form that range. So that's what they want to tell us as mineralogists. And I say that's nonsense, because you read more of that stuff, and you can do your own um, autodidactic teaching, if you will, so you understand the Dolomites more and what they're trying to tell you what it is. Um, but if you go study what geologists tell you, they don't even have nothing written down for what a mountain is and why. Because mountains are melted buildings. Okay, and a lot of people can't see that. Old books that are taken away from this Christian faith will explicitly tell you that man was mounting up and God was mad and melted this world and flooded it. And the evidence is everywhere, but no one wants to talk about that. So I'm looking at the root meaning of Dolomites. Um, so Dolomite comes from this rock dolomite. And what is that? It's calcium magnesium carbonate, the Ka. See, I want you to look again at the Ka, and they're going to tell you how this formed and through time and all that. And that's nonsense. It was building. It was red bricks. It got melted, and the calcium and magnesium and the carbonate got mixed together and so forth, and created these things that we call with these names and so forth. So this cat, he was around in 1791, uh, and it was named. I don't know exactly when he was born. I didn't go look that up and stuff, but I know between 1791 and 1794, after this dude visited different parts here, this is what he called, and he described this as this. Because this chunk of melted building is largely made up of what they call dolomite. And so the entire range later was called Dolomite. So it's the Dolomites of Italy, right? So, um, Before the scientific naming, locals called them Monte Pallidi, the pale buildings, the pale mountains in Italy, the pale. Okay, this referred to their light color and the dramatic pink glow at sunset. See, it's that carbon red of them red bricks still shining through. And words are spells, so I'm using these words in the etymology of um, the Dolomite range. Oh, okay, I'm going to stop for a minute because I see Dana gave me some advice here. Dana's a very smart lady. She gave me some advice about a headache, and her advice helped alleviate my problem at the time with my headaches that I've been insistently having in it. Anyway, so she says, sorry to hear that. Prop yourself up on the bed with a lot of pillows under your back, almost sitting position. Helps your lungs suffering with an infection, bronchitis. Hey, you know what? You're so right, Dana. I thought this was going to be about the tooth, but I got the tooth under condition. I got the solution I put on it. It numbs it, made out of some type of cocaine or something. Um, but you're right. That's what forced me to quit smoking cigarettes. Is because last Sunday, and today is Sunday, so it's seven. Yeah, last Sunday, um, I had laid down to go to sleep, and I was laying flat. And I've had about 4 or 5 episodes of what COPD or what they call that, where you wake up and you can't breathe. I can't think yet this morning. Like COPD, they sleep apnea. That's what they call it, sleep apnea. So I woke up trying to breathe, but it wasn't the same. It was even after I woke up, I was struggling to get air until I sat up, like you said, until I sat up and really. And what happened is the mucus was compacting in my bronchial pathways, and it obstructed it big time. And just yesterday, I had coughed and spit up 2 golf ball sizes of junk that alleviated the pain that I was having in my chest. And it was incredible to see, and it was disgusting to me that I ever even smoked them damn cigarettes. It was just sickening to see that and to feel the difference thereafter. So I thank you for um, the comment that you left because it was real. And you know what's sickening, Dana? My ass, that I went through that night, and I went and woke my woman up, and I told her, "Hey," I said, "I damn near died, man. Waking up, man. I'm gonna go to the emergency tonight or tomorrow." Oh my God, you all right? And she talked to me for a minute, and I said, "Oh, just chill. I'm just gonna watch this movie and sit up. I'm sitting up. I'm breathing fine right now." So I made me some popcorn, and I made popcorn, and I watched this movie. And then after I got done with the popcorn, what do you think my dumb ass did? I went and smoked a cigarette, but not all the way through. I smoked about half of that cigarette, coughing and choking like crazy. I put it out, and I crushed the rest of my cigarettes and threw them in a garbage can. And I said, and that's a big step because them damn cigarettes are damn near $10 a pack, right? So already since I quit, I already saved $70, huh? Just in this week of not smoking. So that's pretty good, and I'm glad I feel better already. And that's it. That's my little story. And then this morning I slept a little bit, but a little bit of rasping still in my lungs, and it's the end of the. I'm not doing any more antibiotics. I cycled through the antibiotics, and it truly did help because I've had this for over 2 months. Um, Other people who used to be smokers, they said after they quit smoking, they never had bronchitis ever again. It was something due. So I don't know. Hopefully that's the case. I don't want to never have bronchitis again. My older brother, who is dead, He died in 2025 of alcohol overdose. He had bronchitis several times as a youngster and walking pneumonia as a youngster and bronchitis and walking pneumonia as an adult. He smoked a lot and drank a lot. Well, he drank himself to death. Rest in peace, Brother Frank. So anyway, so other than that, I was looking at, that image that I got threw out there by Microsoft. So I started looking up. I started to want to look at the etymology of Dolomites and so forth. So Monte Pallidi, if I'm saying it right, um, is is what we're looking at. So, what the name does not come from, it does not come from the Latin, Celtic, Germanic, or any ancient Indo-European root. It's not related to dole or doler, dolo, or any emotional or descriptive word. Okay, it's not whatsoever. Um, and I wanted to um, talk a moment because I think it would help illustrate that these were bricks once. This was a building once, not just what they want to tell you in mineralogy and geology and all this other stuff. I want to give people food for thought. So, what dolomite is a double carbonate rock, meaning its very structure is built from two different carbonate components, calcium carbonate and magnesium carbonate, interlocked at the crystal level. Okay, um, there's also calcium carbonate. Likewise, if you take calcium carbide, and you in in the rock form, and you put water on it, it forms a gas. Okay, so you have big chunks of this stuff that's being created um, as a result of this melt from um, different things melting together in this great melt that occurred across this whole realm everywhere. And there was pockets of survival too, because you see that from the ground up, this this great melt that occurred happened with a vibration. Uh, Old books say it was with the voice. There again, this vibration. So this vibration um, came up from the ground and just made this building just end up looking like that. And you go into these buildings or any mine and you'll see what we always see in these underground places that they say are caves or uh, old mines and so forth. You'll see uh, railroad tracks that lead to nowhere and to the side of this melted building, what they call a mountain. Um, so just talking about that, these different things that are interlocked at this crystal level that was created during the melt, not through millions of years and all this other nonsense. It, it happened not too long ago because all our erased history, all this nonsense history we're given, gives us a better timeline of about when this occurred. Okay, so we don't have it pegged to a particular time, but a particular era when they're erasing all this from our minds in regard to what really transpired. Uh, this is made more and more obvious, and etymology of Dolomites, etymology of different words, help us resolve this because words are spells, and they've used these words on us to trick our minds to uh, see all the not see things the way they want you to see it with this nonsense science, with this nonsense historical narrative of what really transpired. So that's basically what I'm trying to talk about. And what I want to talk about here is a little bit of the composite nature of dolomite. Okay, so oh, there's the lungs a little bit. So the chemical composition, a double carbonate. Dolomite is composed of a mineral CaMgCO3 2, which means 1 part calcium carbonate, CaCO3, and 1 part magnesium carbonate, MgCO3. These alternate in the crystal lattice, forming a chemically ordered structure. And this is what they teach us in geology, right? So, and I'm going to tell you how that occurred. That occurred by a melt and turned them red bricks into what they're talking about today, with whatever else was melted within that. And then you have to understand too that thereafter massive amounts of water hit all these melted infrastructures everywhere, and that had something to do with it in its cooling process, and, and putting different things, gases, and the water and the chemical compositions of what that water was and those other things all inside of that dolomite, what you call dolomite. So so the dolomite's internal structure is alternating layers of Ca and Mg. And as a mineralogist, they would have said Ca2 plus and Mg2 plus ions, each bonded to carbonate groups. Okay, and there's that carbon red fiber in there with more the compositions of what red bricks are made of. Okay, so the composite through transformation. Okay, this is what geology will teach us. Okay, most dolomite forms when magnesium-rich fluids infiltrate limestone and replace some of the calcium with magnesium. Okay, that's so, but they don't tell you how that occurred. They're going to tell you through eons of time and all this stuff. Um, and that's what created that particular rock. This process, dolomization, they call it, creates a rock that is literally a composite transformation of an earlier carbonate rock. See, you look that up, and Wikipedia will say stuff like that. Well, we'll tell you, meltologists will tell you, um, that the trace elements are everything that red bricks are made of, from iron, magnesium, zinc, cobalt, um, and strontium. Same type of things. Like, look, what are they doing? If you're a conspiracy or a truther, and you see these white lines are spraying everywhere, you see that they're spraying stuff like things that I just said: magnesium in the air, iron, aluminum, strontium, different elements are spraying in the air. So what's all that about, folks? See? And it augments the weather, and they use vibrations. Here's vibrations again to augment the weather. And we had augmented weather everywhere. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Okay? That's what they're going to label me as. And then if you talk about this, the trolls, the real trolls, or those people who hide the truth from you, will dump an ad on the bottom of your video talking about um, contrails, and that ain't chemtrails. And I tell you, the big difference. There's hundreds of people that talking about this. They'll show you there's a plane going by. No long lines of these solutions they put in the air to augment the weather, to push the weather around, and another plane will go by, and there'll be none. So the comparison level is right there in the air. They show us all the time. So that's not a conspiracy. Even when Trump was president last, he said he was going to stop this chemtrailing, and he didn't. He didn't do that. I know he is Biff Tanner, if you will, huh? Back to the Future. So why this matters, huh? People say, "What's the matter, Bob, in regard to what you're saying and what you're talking about?" Well, it matters to me because I know what I'm talking about and looking at is real, and it helps to edify my faith, okay? And it gives me a better direction to look at things instead of just having a belief in nonsensical lies that we've been taught through our whole lives. You know what I mean? So the composite nature of dolomite the effects. They want to say the erosion resistant. Well, in regard to just the rock itself, you know, that is the fact. The erosion resistance is higher than what they want to say that limestone. But there again, you look at what limestone is. It's a composite of melted red bricks being and creating all these other things that we want to give a name to, like Dolomite. Like this cat gave us this Dolomite name of the Dolomite Mountains in Italy. And I tell you, that's the more red brick realm that was melted in this realm, and it happened to be in Italy. And you look in Italy, there's like over 20,000 abandoned villages that underwent the melt, folks. 20,000 everywhere. People are living in a lot of these regions there in Italy, all over, that have been melted. Streets melted, the roads melted. Red brick roads are looking like um, cobblestone today. So there's some food for thought. The Ka and the MG, the Mayans in there. For the castles and the cathedrals. And there, we just made a little bit of noise this morning talking about the composite nature of Dolomite and how they came up with this name. Um, you know, and through geology and mineralogy, and you see that it's the the pale melted buildings. You know, uh, what they called that before the Pale Mountains, what they called that before this Dolomite guy uh, names them, and this rock sediment that they call, and how it formed, and so forth. So that was just on the fly. Nothing's rehearsed here. You know, um, just some of the things I looked up, and I didn't even really read them in the full essence of it. I just kind of winged it, made some noise about that. So that's what we're kind of like doing. And here we are in the Black Mirror. We were talking about the etymology of Dolomites, and here we are here, and there is a, a image mask blend of them Dolomite mountains uh, surrounding me, and And that's basically what we were talking about this morning. Just that. And I started off with a song that I produced with AI. And I like AI if you're using AI for the right reason. Everything that you've seen here, nothing is produced with AI. Oh, look who wants to come visit me. Is it my baby girl? Is it my baby girl who wants to come visit me? Come here, you. Now look at this little munchkin. See this little beautiful girl? See that beautiful girl? She's got toothache too. You know what happened to her? Sit down right there. She was too excited the other day. She jumped off the porch and wiped out and smacked her face and head on the ground bad. And she turned around and looked at me like, oh my God. And I ran down there and I picked her up, and she was messed up pretty good for a minute. I held her in my hands. And then she shook it off, and then she wanted down, and I let her down, and she went and took a piss and come back to me, and I picked her up. I brought her in the house. Well, guess what? She busted some teeth out in the front, busted a tooth out on the bottom, and one's loose on her. That poor thing went through all that. So I gave her a baby aspirin with a little piece of uh, her treat. She ate that. And then later she was whining a little bit. The same stuff I put on my tooth, I put on her little jaw area there, and she went to sleep in my lap. And so I've been treating my own dog with what occurred with her, but she seems like she went, she's getting better. She's got over that, but it was pretty sad. My baby girl right here, this beautiful girl. Let's get that. Let's get that
let's get that image that so we can see her. I got this filter on here. We're gonna remove the filter. We just said, there we go. Come here, come here, come here. Let me show the people how beautiful you are. See, look at here's my beautiful girl. Huh? That's my baby. Huh? So she's getting better, huh? I trimmed her around her eyes, but she needs a haircut. The spring's here, huh? Ah, hello, people. Say, oh. Let's see. Let's see if you can see it. Come on, let me show them your teeth. I'm gonna show you. Come on, be a good girl. It's okay. Uh, you can't see that, and I don't want to get her mad. Oh, get you mad, huh? Oh, I love you. I love this little creature, man. I don't know how people are mean to animals. I never will get that. I think there should be a sentence. You're cruel or mean to animal. I think you should be executed. That's what I think about it. Yeah, no second chances. Or maybe a second chance. Maybe not the first time. If you do it twice, you just get a bullet in the head. You know what I mean? That's what they should do. So, okay, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, Dana, that poor little sweetheart. She is a tough little girl. I think she might have even had, she was got sick when I was sick or something because she was sneezing and so forth. Now she wants to go outside. Oh, you want to go outside? Okay, well, I got to let her outside. So let me close this here. So she wants to go outside. So I'll be right back. Um, oh, what the heck happened there? Be right back. Be right back, man. The dog wants out. We're just making some noise this morning. I want to thank. I don't know what happened to. I don't know what happened to Charlie Rose. She showed up and said hello and then split. Yeah, I hear you. People who are cruel to animals. My uncle, he's a real douchebag. He's loaded too, man. He got like $6 million and shit, and he wants to be mean to animals and critters. And I never got that, man. I even said to his brother, my stepfather, I said, man, something's wrong with your brother, man. I always want to be mean to little critters and stuff. But he has a dog that he's kind to, as far as I know. But I've seen him do a lot of mean shit to animals and other dogs, like his dog. Anyway, I don't even want to talk about. I'm gonna let the dog out. I'll be right back. So let me see what's going on here. Always see what's. Open up this browser here real quick to see what's going on there, and I will just bump one little while I let the dog out to make some noise here. Um, and why I say and do the things I do because meltology matters. I don't care what no one says. Meltology has helped to edify my faith rather than destroy it like some people. Um, anyway, so meltology matters. That's what I say. And I'll be right back. Come on, baby girl. I'll take you outside. Come on. I ain't playing no game. I got you, kiddo. Meltology in my veins. It's running through my name. From the streets to the sky. And I'm reaching for the stars. Ain't nothing else matters when I'm racing the bars. Things to lean. Steady moving in my stride. I hustle hard. Got my crew by my side. Life's a maze, but I navigate it smooth. Meltology's the code. It's my eternal truth. Meltology in the streets. That's how we roll. Ain't nothing else matters from around the troll. God barely. God never died. Meltology's the way. It's our prime time. I wreck the streets every block, every corner.
Press it out. You want trees? Yes. That it? You want trees? Come on. Nothing else matters. Some things matter. Metallica, man. Metallica. Etymology. Okay. Here we are. We're back, folks. I'm gonna turn that off. See who's here still. Just Dana. So yeah, Dana says that's how Jeffrey Dahmer started with cruelty at animals. Well, I didn't know that, but I'll tell you a true story that I uh I taught a serial killer how to sign language, okay? Different things. I don't know if anybody knows ASL. I know ASL. I forgot a lot of it, so don't go checking me on what I know and what not. Well, I learned this when I was 5 years old. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. My alphabets with my hands. And from there, I developed and learned ASL, and I got the ASL book, and I started reading it. But if you want to look up a guy, it's a book. It's called The Boy Next Door. Okay? I taught that man who's in prison today. He is in either Marquette or Jackson prison, one or the other. Um, and he was a serial killer. Uh, the book that they wrote about the guy's the boy next door. He's out of Michigan. His father was a Baptist preacher. So pretty weird that Dana said, "Hey, that's how serial killers start off." That's how Jeffrey Dahmer started with cruelty to animals. And I don't know what started him off, this Donnie Miller guy. But anyway, I taught that guy, and I taught another young man. He was young. Well, he wasn't young, but he was younger than myself, and he couldn't hear, and he had no understanding of ASL. Him and his parents, they developed their own type of communication through the hands and facial and grunts and so forth, and certain grunt words. Um, he never was schooled. His parents never took him to get educated. They kept him on the farm and they only worked him. So his whole life he only did that until he ended up in prison. And I taught him as well how to use ASL and communicate. And it's a pretty it's a pretty good feeling when you can help somebody like that. And he hugged me and we we had we bonded. I bonded with about five hearing impaired people that have become in my heart part of my family. Um, Even as funny as this may sound, that sick ass Donnie Miller, um, I found some good in him, and I wasn't going to nail him to the cross for what he did. He was already judged. Society already, you know, locked him away for the rest of his life, and he's been locked up since basically he was a child. He was like, I don't know, 17, 18 years old. Just barely turning an adult. So his entire life has been nothing but prison, and he didn't have it good. He had it rough, and some of those environments where we lock those monsters up, and they find out how prisoners treat those monsters. It's much different. And I'll share one little story before I um, close this up about a monster named Leslie Williams. He was a serial killer, a rapist serial killer. And my friend, who's no longer here, was his second victim. Her name was Jan. And she survived. And she was visiting one of her loved ones in the graveyard when this occurred. Anyway, she got to hear the final result of what happened to him because the first two women that he did this to, they survived. All the other ones didn't survive. Well, when they finally apprehended him and locked his ass up for it, he was sent to Jackson Prison. And first they put him in, you know, tight security because of fear of what people are going to do to him. And finally he gets released to general public. And the inmates didn't appreciate that kind of individual there with them. So they did some very nasty stuff to him and stuck him with a broom, stuck him 11 times. But he survived. Okay, he got stuck 11 times, stuck with a broom in the wrong spot, and he survived. And after he survived, they moved him to another prison in Michigan called Marquette. And matter of fact, both those prisons were former castles. The narrative they give you about when they were built is lie because both those buildings underwent a melt. It's evident in the brickwork and how bricks look and how some of them are blocked up and so forth. Melted infrastructures. But anyway, they sent him there, and the Marquette prisoners ended up doing the same thing to him, but they killed him. So he's no longer with us. So that's what happens to those people who want to be monsters to other people. Live by the gun, die by the gun. So that's what happened to them. And that's it. I don't know why I shared that, just because Dana made that comment about Dahmer, you know, and that monster. I don't know whatever happened to that freak. But that's about it. Let's see how did this how did the audio come in during this? Hopefully good. I know Dana was communicating with me there. Charlie said hello and wasn't there anymore. That's the only one we ever got. Oh, we had somebody else here. I didn't even see. Uh, Ronan. Oh, Ronan says my uncle does not have $6 million. Well, I'm sorry to say that he probably has more than that. Okay, he probably has more than that. I have a couple millionaires in my family. You know what's sad about that? When me and my girl were struggling, we we went through cancer. I didn't get $100 out of my family members. How about that, uh, Ronan? And we're gonna go see who this Ronan guy is real quick. I'm gonna go to his channel. I'm gonna go to this Ronan's channel. Um, he has 53 subscribers. You don't know nothing about me. I'm not here to make up stories or so forth. I live below poverty level there, Ronan. Bailey. Oh, I know who you are. Bailey, you're that loser who was going to Chad's channel and Karen's channel. You know what, Ronan? Bailey Roberts is a troll, folks. I mean, he's a complete goofball. I'm gonna, you're gonna be eliminated from my channel. I don't want you around, dude. We worked hard to get you out of, we worked real hard to get you off of Karen and Chad's channel. And matter of fact, there's a guy who works for YouTube. He's gonna be shutting you down soon, you dumbass Ronan. Ronan 77, Bailey Roberts, is a good for nothing loser. Have a nice day, loser. Beat it. Um, Hide this user from my channel. We don't want your douche ass bag around, man. I'd like to throw you in a cell with Dahmer. Let him eat your ass, you dumbass troll. That's all he does is troll people all the time, man. You must have that's why you have 53 subscribers, and everywhere you go, nobody likes you, dude. You go in there and try to be people's friend and then shit on them. I didn't even want to investigate anymore. Where are you from and so forth. But I'm going to report your dumbass because my friend told me every time I see your ass to report you. So I'm going to report your ass. Um, Always harassing people. So beat it, you dumbass. Have a nice day. So anyway, we got rid of that. I know Karen would be proud of me that I tagged your dumbass, and that's why I think everybody. Hey, why doesn't Dana? What's up with that, man? I thought Dana had oh, that's what happened to Dahmer. They killed him in prison. All right. Well, I just had to. Hey, that guy Ronan, he's a serial troll. I'm not kidding you. For for months, he's been harassing two two people um, on the channel and these people are in bad shape, Dana. These people are uh, the wife, Karen, she has MS and she's a doll. She's a sweetheart. Her husband's named Chad and he has bladder cancer. He only has 15% of the one kidney he has remaining in his body. And he talks about addiction and cancer. And this guy, Bailey, would go there and try to befriend him and just cause one problem after another. He's a real douchebag. So beat it, uh, Ronan, you loser. So anyway, that's enough about Ronan. So that's it. So that's a good way to end it. So no, Chad and Karen, I got that dumbass again today on my channel. because I never seen them on my channel before, and I'm glad I went and looked real quick. Um, so, oh, 1994 they got them, huh? Well, here I'm gonna add you as a moderator there, Dana. That way you can have a wrench to look around to see, when different people come in the chat, because I think everybody should have that feature. But I ask you to never hide no one from my channel. You can time someone out from my channel if they're being goofy and so forth. But I ask you not to. I ask all the moderators that I make moderators, and I've known you a long time. I have faith in you, and you're a good soul. You have good morals, and so use that to investigate and look at who's who. And I think everybody should that. We used to all have that ability to click on someone, go to their channel, see who they are, and so forth. But YouTube wants to keep us separated and divided, and they don't want us to click up, and especially those who are, birds of a feather. They don't want us to flock together because we'll get more people understanding the truth, and they don't want you to know the truth. They want to give you the etymology of lies and the narrative lie of history and so forth. So that's about it, man. It's what time is it? It's 7:30 this morning, and we made some noise here in the Black Mirror. What else is going on here? Oh, I said be right back. We are back, so we don't have to say that. We are here and we are back. And that's what we talked about today. Dolomites of Italy. And I think that's going to be a wrap. I'm going to have some coffee, um, make some breakfast. Uh, I have to deal with one more day. I have a dentist appointment come tomorrow, so I got to go see a dentist. Um, so I feel sorry for that Bailey Roberts who wants to troll people all the time. Anyway, I thought I was going to be a millionaire once. Yep, I'm in Michigan, Dana. Yep, I'm in Oakland County, right where I don't know if you had any news there. We had this crazy shooter that's from uh, Iran who just went into a Jewish synagogue trying to shoot up some kids and stuff, and he got executed there before he had a chance to hurt any children. So God bless those security guards who were there to cap that dude and let him burn in his vehicle. So that's what happened to that guy. About 600 officers in my region rushed there. In a matter of minutes, they were there to eliminate the threat. And I don't care what your problem is in this world, just leave the kids alone. You know what I mean? I don't know why people want to hurt kids or animals. Or each other for that matter. We live in a pretty tweaked, twisted, manipulated world, so divided with nonsense and religion and philosophy and stuff. So we're going to end this by saying, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Thanks for coming by, keeping me company, Dana. You made my day. Thanks, Charlie Rose, for stopping by, saying good morning. My girl's going to be up. She usually gets up around 8, so I'm going to make her some coffee, get some breakfast started. And Bailey Roberts, go do something with your life, man. Quit being a troll, man. Go enjoy life and try to learn and educate yourself. And I don't know. Anyway. Oh, you were in Indiana. Lots of glorious old red brick buildings there in Indiana. Uh, so yeah, and a lot of those areas in Indiana, they're gentrifying, trying to get a handle and moving all those people out of areas, and they're like here in Detroit, They're destroying all kinds of the red brick buildings that don't need to be destroyed. Matter of fact, Wayne County administration moved out of one old world building to move into the Renaissance Center because Renaissance Center during the pandemic weren't making money because nobody was doing nothing. So to look out for their constituents, they moved out of a building they didn't have to pay rent in, and they went in and paid rent at the Renaissance Center in Detroit. So, yep, and I've been to Indiana. I did work in Indiana, putting up mezzanines um, for a company called Shoving and Rack Supply out of Walled Lake, Michigan. I was very good at my job when I did that job. You got to be young and healthy because you're working with a lot of heavy metal and so forth. And I was a welder fabricator, and so big buildings, we'd go in and set up these mezzanines so you'd have another floor and so forth. Yes, downtown is beautiful there in Indiana. Yep, many of these places all across America are. Uh, that is so cool. Well, you're a real likable person, so I can see how people um, could befriend you very easily, and that's great that you have lifelong friends there. I know some people in Indiana. I know people in a lot of places. Um, I know some people who lived in Indiana and now moved, and they live in Pennsylvania, and they live in a region not too far from where all that coal is still burning to this day. That coal underground, they say it's going to burn for another 200 plus years. They had to move a whole town, a whole highway just melted and buckled. And you can go visit it today there in Pennsylvania. So I'm glad you made some friends there. And I know this, Dana, you ever come to the United States or in Michigan, you're welcome in my home. You can come by. We got extra room here. Linda and I would love to have you. And you wouldn't have to spend a dime here for, you know, staying, you know. It'd be for free, and I could take you some pretty cool spots around here. Um, anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just my heart saying that if you were ever here again, you'd be welcome, and I'd love to be your friend too, Dana. So thanks for stopping by. We're gonna end this here with a peace. Love your neighbor like you love yourself, and thanks for stopping by. And oh, before I go, I wanted to say to Jen, Curtis, um, and Dean, I was watching the stream last night, and then that tragedy happened to my dog. So I had to take care of my dog. So that ended me looking at anything. Only thing I looked at was my dog, my poor little critter. So my little shadow hurt herself, and I got a toothache. She's got a toothache. She lost two two teeth, and one is loose. So I just got to look after her, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Give her a little extra loving. But she's doing all right. So she's not in no pain right now. I know that. She's walking down the hallway right as I speak to go see Linda, her mama. She's going to go wake up her mama and say, "Get your ass up," because she thinks if she gets her up, they can convince me to make her breakfast right away. She don't eat till usually 8 o'clock, but creatures of habit, they know what time it is. She says, hey, she's hungry. So, peace. Thanks for stopping by, Dana. Have a great day. And like I always say, love your neighbor like you love yourself. Peace. Catch you next time in the Black Mirror. We out of here. Peace, Charlie Rose. I hope everything's good out there in Lapeer. Peace.